Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, as the case may be. This is Mark,
This is Stuart.
and welcome to
Cradlecast.
Cradlecast.
We'll explain our actions later. But right now, we'd like to introduce ourselves.
This is Mark, and
I am Stuart, and we are sponsored by Broas, which I just learned is Tagalog for lady fingers. So in Tagalog, it's very masculine. But when you translate it to English, very interesting. The gender of broas all over the world.
bro was. No? That's toxic masculinity, bro. Bro was. So lady fingers pala. Should it be sisas?
I'm not sure about calling it lady fingers because these are quite chubby fingers, and I don't know if ladies would like to be associated with fingers that are these size.
For the record, I haven't met a lady with that kind of finger.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll leave it there. This is a family podcast.
Yeah. The reason why I was like trying to do this, actually it could help us out. We are thinking of some kind of a physical trademark for the show Cradlecast. I know you know nothing about it yet. We're going to get to that later on. But I was thinking of a K. Diba sa sign language, American Sign Language, this would be a K. So our Cradlecast is actually KK, okay? If there's going to be graphics here, Cradlecast, both with the letter K. Consistent with sounds cradle with a letter K instead of a C. So this is Cradlecast. But Stuart, my co-host, doesn't agree with me.
Mas literal ako. So, cradle as in cradle, like rock the cradle, and then throw the baby, and then cast. Kasi napalayan ako. So, ito yung cast natin. And so, cradle, cast.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can imagine Mark Aranal doing this type of action every single episode.
Let's try it together, ah. Welcome to Cradlecast. Bagay ba? Okay,
Nagmukha kaming Power Rangers.
Pwede ba? Ganun, no?
Red 1.
Cradlecast.
Ayun.
Let's try the other one, the 2Ks.
Okay.
Pwede bang dear, parang K-pop smiley malapit sa bibig?
I've never seen a K-pop idol do
hindi ba
this
ganun?
kind of action. Pero baka yan
they do somewhere near
baka yan yung
the heart.
fan
So
sign.
parang ganyan?
Pwedeng
Okay,
ganun.
sige. Let's try. Welcome to Cradlecast. Aba, may ganon. Pwede rin.
Halatang laking 80s tayo. No?
Anyway, what is this all about? This is a new series on podcasts and other platforms where we hope to
elevate the artist community and the artist scene here in the Philippines. As you can see, we are in the Kaiserberg showroom of Sounds Cradle, where we are literally surrounded by pianos that the two of us cannot play. Like, we are the least qualified in this entire compound to play any of these instruments, but it's a nice backdrop, shall we say. And, maybe Mark will surprise you. He might stand up and play one of these things, maybe now or in
no, not now.
future episode.
Yeah.
But what for you is Cradlecast? What is it to you?
Cradlecast, when we conceptualize this, we want to do a series on podcast that would be in service to the arts community, particularly, plus more. Of course, we're not limiting ourselves to that, so there could be so much more that we could do. We'll see. As what usually happens, it takes a life of its own. Diba? When you start something like this. But basically, we want to serve you guys. If you belong to the arts community, I kind of broke it down into 3 categories, Stuart. The professionals, those who get paid for what they do. If you get paid as a singer, as a pianist, as a teacher, as a painter, as a theater actor, then you are a professional, okay? You may not be doing it full time, but you are a professional. Or you may be a passion player. Somebody who is an enthusiast, somebody who just loves to do it, creating art form, then this is also for you. Or you may just be someone who appreciates art. This is also for you. If you kind of feel that you have an affinity, malapit sa puso mo ang sining, you have an affinity to the arts, then Cradlecast is for you.
It's actually very validating that you don't have to be a professional, like a paid artist, to be considered an artist. So
Yes.
our definition is quite broad because there can be the hobbyists there who might not make this as their living,
Yeah.
but it does bring life to them. Like it really energizes them. It gives them a reason to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't see this as a form of maybe financial compensation. That's not the end goal. This is just to give life meaning.
That's right. That's the reason why during the pandemic, we also tried to do a lot of online content because I realized, because of the lockdown, of course, a lot of artists had very limited creative output. So we wanted that. And oh my goodness, during that time, di ba, lahat naman tayo nagwiwindang. We were like struggling with our mental health because we could not express ourselves. And online, thank God for it, one of the things that probably is a blessing or a blessing in disguise from the pandemic is that we learned how to navigate online content, how to create through online content. And we realized how much that helps artists to just have something to do. And let me just add, you'll be surprised, Stuart, I'm sure you agree. Many of the non-pros, they may not get paid, but their passion is even stronger than the pros. When they put their heart out into it, writing songs, playing music, sometimes yung passion po nila na nakakahiya ang mga professionals who get paid for it, and sometimes it becomes just a job.
It really depends kung where you're coming from. Kasi I feel there might be some people who are so busy with their day-to-day, with life, like you clock in your 9 to 5 and maybe not as much free time, and suddenly lockdown happened and suddenly you're at home, maybe not as much to do. So you suddenly find your creative juices flowing. So I feel na a lot of lives are actually changed talaga in more ways than one. Kasi syempre there's so much loss, and in terms of yung quality time and time itself. So I'm glad na at least a lot of people found their voice kasi they suddenly have a lot of free time. Yung mga iba naghanap ng jowa eh. Actually, yun yung naging experience ko eh. Yun yung naging...
Naghanap ka ng jowa?
No. I was happily married. Pero kasi a little bit of context kasi I'm involved in weddings for a living. And when I asked the brides and grooms to be, the couples to be, how they met each other, talagang biglang nag-lockdown. Marami akong free time. And then, biglang, wala namang ginagawa. Hanap kaya ng jowa. So, pero we're getting away from the ano naman. Actually, it's a bit of a 180 for me. Yung now that you mentioned it, kasi some people found their creative voice during the pandemic. Ako naman, I was trying to, shall we say, survive because we were suddenly in a situation where we didn't have the usual outlets that we had. Like I'm sure a lot of outlets were suddenly closed to you because we couldn't hold
Definitely.
live events. And
Yeah.
I actually disassociated myself from being an artist just because during that period, like I felt you just have to do what you need to do to survive. And I see mga fellow artists talaga na they were struggling. Tapos biglang
Grabe.
biglang nagbebenta na ng gulay online, biglang
Grabe.
nagbukas na ng junk shop. So,
Learning how to bake cookies, whatever they could to make a living.
which is another form of art, if I may add. Pero it's amazing how different yung COVID lockdowns took us.
Yeah. It brought out the best and the worst in people. Like whatever struggles we had, na-magnify yun eh. So those who were having difficulty with mental health issues. But I'm so glad also that there is now dialogue. We are now more aware about mental health issues. As accentuated or emphasized during the lockdown, ang dami rin man pong mga blessing. But regarding the arts, wow, after we were able to survive the temporary pandemic, yun yung tinatawag nilang revenge theater. Of course, I'm talking from the perspective of a theater artist, but I'm sure whatever live performing arts, the bands, For example, mga musikero, the ballet dancers, the concert scenes, whatever is the live event that you're coming from, you've experienced this. After the pandemic, everybody now wants to go out and just perform. Then the audience, and this is the beautiful thing, after the pandemic, there's a new audience that were raised. People who discovered that, hey, ang sarap pala ng live. Ang sarap pala manood ng theater, ng concerts. People who did not care much about it, and they were just content with TV and film, now are exploring new creative horizons.
When we came out of the lockdowns, ang daming revenge words na biglang lumabas. Biglang may revenge travel. Biglang mga artists suddenly came here in droves. Mga foreign artists as well as local artists having shows again, having gigs again. So that was very refreshing. And since we're having the COVID lockdowns, the pandemic in the rearview mirror, hopefully hindi na mauulit, I noticed na marami kang productions minimension sa amin pag nagkikita tayo eh.
Oh yeah?
Talagang yung you can't stop raving about certain shows. And I know at this point, you've just watched certain shows which I'm sure the audience would like to hear din. And maybe some shows that are upcoming na by the time this podcast comes out, people will be wanting to see them. But they just don't know it yet because Direct Mark Aranal has not mentioned it to them. Sometimes they just need to know it.
Yeah. You can easily check this out yourselves now. But thank you, Stuart, for pointing that out. Now, actually, tapos na yung revenge theater phase, in my opinion. No? That happened like about a year after we got out of the pandemic. Now, I would unofficially call it the redefining stage of theater. Where theater artists now are trying to reassess what is theater all about. And I want to shout out, for example, to one of my favorite theater companies, Tanghalang Pilipino, because they strive with a lot of effort, I'm sure, to make themselves relevant. Minsan kasi parang theater should be entertaining, don't get me wrong. But theater should be beyond entertainment. That is the beauty of it. So medyo tapos na. Yung revenge theater, sige, I just want to watch anything. Basta I want to get out of the house. I want to create. Kahit medyo sloppy, kahit medyo tapos na po yun. Now we are redefining what theater truly is. We are now more reflective. And I just saw, yun pong sinasabi ni Stewart na katatapos ko lang po mapanood, yung Kisap Mata. Amazing, amazing. They're closing on March 30. So by the time you do this podcast, you listen to this podcast, it's possible that they have already closed. But you know what, Stewart? I have never seen, to the best of my recollection, I have never seen a Tanghalang Pilipino production that disappointed me. From the full-scale musicals of Pinkian, Anak Datu, to the small four-hander, like Kisap Mata, 4 na actors lang yun. Intimate, and yet grand in scope and in intensity. In fact, they never cease to amaze me. Kasi akala mo after a while, suki na ako ng Tanghalang Pilipino. You would think for a while na parang predictable na, pero hindi pa rin po. Now, since Stuart is giving me a little bit of time with you guys, I want to talk about what's coming up next. So ito po yung mga Cradle Cast recommends. Okay? So, if you don't mind, Stuart, no? Ito po yung mga bagay, ito po yung mga productions that I want you to watch out for. And you could always check out the information online. Okay? First off is Pilato. Pilato is an independently produced production. It's a musical. I saw their rehearsal. They had and I was privileged to be invited to observe their very first run-through. Bagong producers po ito. They're called The Corner Studio. Go and check it out. It's a deconstruction, in a way, of, but don't get me wrong, baka ma-turn off kayo sa word na deconstruction, of the story of Jesus Christ from the point of view of Pontius Pilate.
Pilato. Akala ko piloto. Akala ko we were deconstructing a plane. Okay.
Hindi,
Correction. Pilato. From the point of view of Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate.
Yes.
Hindi rin Pilates.
Iba yun. Kung manonood lang naman tayo ng aerobics, huwag tayo sa PETA Theater. Punta tayo ng Slimmers World. Which does not sponsor our episode, by the way. But we see you if you're interested.
Baka naman. Okay, so yun po, Pilato, I am supporting this this group because of their courage to come up with something different. And it's so appropriate. They're opening just before the Holy Week. Minsan kasi parang sawang-sawa na tayo. Every Holy Week, of course, we have these TV specials. Churches will have their cantatas. I am not in any way knocking or putting down the value of those. Those are very important that we need to be reminded. But hey, this is radical. For the first time, we're gonna see it from the point of view of Pontius Pilate. They opened on April 4. Buti na, I checked my information. April 4 to 13. Okay, 2 weekends lang yata ito. April 4 to 13 at the PETA Theater Center. This is written and directed by Eldrin Veloso with Pauline Ariola, sorry. Did I say the name right? Pauline Arejola. Pauline Arejola as a musical director and Yanni Robignol as the composer. Okay? So, and then we have, I also want to recommend from Tanghalang Ateneo, my home theater group, syempre. No? They are doing, nawala tuloy.
Congratulations, Arenair. You have a production upcoming. Hindi lang po tayo Tanghalang Pilipino, meron ding Tanghalang Ateneo.
Correct. And what they're doing now, they're opening on March 27, but it will be running until April 13. So chances are, when you catch this podcast, they will still be running. What is it? Ningning sa Silangan. This is a Filipino adaptation of Light in the Village by Joe Clifford and adapted by Dr. Jerry Respeto, one of the acclaimed theater literary artists. Okay? And directed by Charles Yee. Such a promising young director. I love Charles Yee. He thinks out of the box. Check it out. Sa Arete po ito, Arete in Ateneo. I hope you could also follow us, please. We promise you we're gonna come up with more ideas. Your suggestions would be greatly appreciated.
Definitely. And once again, this is Stuart Gan.
And this is Mark Arenal. And you are watching
Cradle Cast!
God bless you guys.